Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, 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 and welcome back. This is Chaos and Charcuterie. This is your personal visual segment of the Real Reality Realness podcast, where I, your host, Sean Ellis Rogers, am going to dive into some of my favorite headlines. Well, I'm not going to say favorite, some of the most interesting headlines that are sticking out to me. And I'm going to do my own unsolicited advice segment called Hey Ashley. We'll get into that a little later. But I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much for joining. Listen, we have a lot going on today. I am here to talk about the podcast, of course, update you on who's on today. We had the lovely Diamond Styles joining the podcast. It was such an amazing conversation. Diamond Styles, who is a activist, who is a writer, a singer, a philanthropist, she is every woman, she is all women, she is amazing. She came on and gave me one of the most, if not the most impactful interview that I've ever done. So I want to make sure you guys go and check that out. Real Reality Realness streams everywhere you can find podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, Audible, Stitcher, Spotify. All the girls have it. So make sure you guys go and check out that interview. Yesterday, we had on the show Leanne Locken from the Real Housewives of Dallas. Make sure you guys go and check out that. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to have my boy Cedric Smith on. He is a filmmaker. He's just launching his production company, Concrete Productions. And I am so excited to have him on. We dive into all things film, all things television, and we talk about his story, all the things going on with his production company, the things that he would do. It's just tune in for that. It's going to be a really, 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 really cool conversation. So thank all of you guys for coming on the podcast. Leanne, Diamond, Cedric, everybody who's coming on the rest of the week that we'll get to as we do these episodes. Thank you guys so much for coming on, and everybody who's been on. Thank all of you for listening. Thank all of you for tuning into Chaos and Charcuterie. I appreciate you guys so much. I thank you guys so much. So, that being said, let's get into the mess, shall we? Because as I always say, I am Sean Ellis Rogers, and I put the mess in the message. Okay, let's get to it. I'm going to start today's show with Chris Harrison because he is applauding TJ Holmes and Amy Roebuck for lawyering up amidst them being fired from Good Morning America 3. And it starts with, this is courtesy of Us Weekly. Not holding back. As a former ABC employee, Chris Harrison shared his thoughts on the scandals surrounding Amy Roebuck and TJ Holmes and offered to share his lawyer's contact if they need it. I have a lot of strong opinions about this. This is personal. The former Bachelor host 51 said during an episode of the most dramatic podcast ever that debuted on Monday, January 16th. I'm definitely going to check that out with that title. Excuse me. A report came out that Amy and TJ had been let go and that they have lawyered up. And to that, I say good for you guys. Good for you. Earlier this month, multiple sources confirmed, to Us Weekly that Roebuck 49 and Holmes 45 are not expected to return to Good Morning America 3. What you need to know. After news of their affair broke last year. Amy and TJ are out. A decision has been made, an insider said of the newscasters. The network is negotiating with them on their exit deals and an announcement. ABC has not given the public an update on the duo status at the network, but the pair were pulled from the air in early December 2022. Their roles have since been taken on by temporary hosts who note that they are filling in for Holmes and Roebuck, whose names are still featured on the opening credits of GMA 3. See, I don't think none of this shit would have happened if y'all would have just kept Keke Palmer and Michael Strahan down to the GMA 3, but all right. Even Michael Strahan and Sarah Haynes, but all right. Harrison, for his part, hinted that he doesn't think a consensual relationship between equal coworkers merits termination. I've been in this business for a long time. You sign these contracts. There are morality clauses in there, he explained. Is it morally reprehensible to fall in love? Because that's what they've done. That is the crime that they are being punished for, is falling in love. And is it morally reprehensible? Is it against the law to fall in love with someone at work that is equal to you? They are on level footing. They were co-hosts. Is it illegal or wrong to fall in love with someone who is equal to you and follow those feelings? Roebuck and Holmes have not publicly commented on their relationship status, but the pair were spotted getting cozy outside of work in New York outside of work in November 2022 while married to other people. The 2020 co-anchor tied the knot with Andrew Shue in 2010. That same year, Holmes wed Marilee Fiebig, with whom he shares daughter Sabine, age 10. Last month, Holmes and Fiebig filed for divorce. Harrison hinted that his own past with ABC mirrored Roebuck and Holmes' situation. The Perfect Letter author temporarily stepped down in February 2021 following his apparent defense of Bachelor contestant Rachel Kirkconnell, who made headlines for racially insensitive photos from her past. 4 months later, the network confirmed that Harrison wouldn't be coming back. Okay, that's enough. I am really under the impression that it really just boils down to the lettering in their contracts. I don't feel like we should be having a conversation about something that is in black and white. Like, if there are specific statements in those clauses about you having any type of interpersonal relationship with a coworker, then whatever the terms of that contract are the terms of that contract. I feel like if you sit around and if there's even more detail in that contract and it says, okay, a superior cannot have a relationship with a with an underling, but there's no verbiage about people of the same leveling in the workplace, to Chris's point, being involved. There's a loophole in that clause. Do you get what I'm saying? So it really, I just want to read the contract at this point. I really just want to see the contract and see what the specific lettering of the contract that warrants them being fired. Because if they're being fired for having a relationship as coworkers, okay, well then if that's in the contract, then that's in the contract, right? But if you're, how can I word this? If you basically, I agree that they should lawyer up as well, because there's specific lettering in your contract that could possibly provide you a loophole, and I just gave it to you. If there's no specific terms in that clause that are about the actual status of where you are in the company, like if there's nothing about you guys being on the same level as co-hosts and it specifically states that you're a superior and an underling, well, there's a loophole there. So I guess we're gonna, and besides, they were gonna have to hire lawyers anyway to strategize their exit deals. So I don't see what them getting lawyers was so surprising, like why that was so surprising to people, because they're on television. They all structure exit deals when they leave a network. Like, nobody threw a fit when old girl got fired. It don't matter. But the one that was justifying blackface and was saying all the racist shit, Megyn Kelly. Nobody said a word about her getting a lawyer when Megyn Kelly got fired. But anyway, I just, it's very specific because it all boils down to that very specific lettering in their contract. So based on what their lawyers find in this contract, we're going to know based on how all of this plays out in their exit deals. So whatever their severance package is looking like, we'll see whether they were fired based on the details of their contract or just to save face at the network and just ease the scandal as much as possible. Stay tuned. Cardi B explains why she didn't divorce Offset after he had cheated or whatever. And this is for People magazine, right? After getting married in 2017, Cardi B filed for divorce from Offset in September 2020 and then dismissed the case 2 months later. Cardi opens up about why she decided to stay with the Migos rapper in an interview from the upcoming debut of the Jason Lee show. Shout out to Jason Lee. The 30-year-old up rapper recalled that the difficult time in her relationship with Offset and spoke about how they got through it. Me and Offset were not seeing eye to eye. And this was like the same year I filed for divorce and everything. Cardi told the host, shared an exclusive with Entertainment Tonight. Okay. I'm not really seeing specifics on where I want to read. I'm gonna let him talk about this because the main thing was that was really bothering me. I'm gonna let him say it. She continued during the chat with Jason Lee. I want him to say it because I feel like that's really part of his story. Okay, whatever. So then, if we're not gonna get to very specifics on why she decided to stay, well then fine. Like at the end of the day, she stayed and she had another baby and they're happy. Good for them. Like T. What exactly did I say didn't matter? That you're specifically thinking I should reference. Excuse me. Okay. Well, all right. Thank you. Um, Let me know what you feel like I should say shouldn't matter because I feel like if they're gonna stay and if she's not gonna actually say in the moment but bring it up, well then why even address it? Like it's fine. Good for them. They stay together and they're happy. God bless. I feel like that's what's most important is that she's with him now and that she's happy. Not even that she's with him and that they're working through it and that they're figuring it out and all of that type of stuff. They're in a great place. So the specifics of that really are their business. And if they don't want to share it, I don't feel like they personally should. But I also feel like if you're not going to share it, then don't bring it up on television. Which one? Oh, about TJ and Amy. About TJ and Amy. That's what you're trying to get me to go back to. Which part were you specifically asking me to go back to? Just let me know that, and then I'll run back to that when I go through with the next story. But thank you for letting me know that the comments are delayed. But yeah, I think that the story you tried to remember, but you got the name later. Hold on. Well, I'm streaming live on YouTube, so I technically didn't want to bring you up, but just kind of hold on. I think I'm gonna just go ahead. Did it go through? Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm hitting accept, and I don't know if it's okay. There it is. I'm sorry, hon. I was just listening and just replying to you, just keying with you. I mean, the comments came late. I mean, it was a story you were trying to figure out, and it was so funny how you were trying to figure it out, and it was like, he was like, what is it? What is it? Forget it. It doesn't remember. I don't like. It said it doesn't even matter. And I was like, exactly. That's why you can't remember it because it doesn't matter. No, but you were saying how nobody knew about the story and it never existed because I mean it was out there, but nobody knew about it or something like that. And I was like, that's crazy. Like there you go. Nobody knew about it because, like you just said, it didn't matter. But I was just following along. No, sorry. No, you perfectly fine, babe. I didn't mean to, confuse you. I just, I'm Kiki and I'm listening. I love it. Thank you so much. I just think that when it comes to TJ and Amy, it's like at the end of the day, it really, like, we don't even need to hear from them. If they're gonna get lawyers, that's perfectly fine. But I just want to
Right.
know, like, what exactly in the contract the lawyers are gonna find, because I know that whatever their severance package is gonna look like is gonna be based on the terms of their contract and what they actually violated. So I'm like, okay, so let's just wait and let this play out a little bit, because at this point we just gonna be speculating for like speculation's sake, and then we're never really gonna, like, by the time the real shit actually comes out, nobody's gonna
Mhm.
care anymore, because they're gonna run with the rumors that are more salacious, and then by the time the real stuff comes out, they're gonna be on to the next thing. Kanye gonna be done saying something else crazy.
You know what?
I'm just saying.
Well, again, I'm just listening. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, bitch.
You all
Go off.
right. You are all
Go
right.
off
Thank you
about
for being here.
huh?
No, I was just saying you're perfectly fine. Thank you for being here, babe.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Like again, I'm just listening. I'm sorry.
Anytime.
I'm
Come
gonna
back
leave now. Go
anytime.
back to your life, baby. I'm just listening.
Anytime, love. Come back anytime. But yeah, shout out to Cardi. Shout out to Offset. God bless them. They'll be all right. I'm sure she probably gonna have another baby in a few years, and maybe she'll drop a second album. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll be the Lauryn Hill of this generation. Think about it like that. Maybe it's she's not gonna drop a second album. Maybe she's just good. Maybe she's committed to being the Lauryn Hill of this generation. Let's just change our thinking altogether in 2023. Because who cares about commitments to contracts? I think at this point, Cardi can buy her way out of a contract. So, twerk off. Um, you know what? I'm trying to decide if I want to talk about Janet or if I want to talk about, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do this story and I'll talk about Janet tomorrow. So Smokey Robinson done upped and said that him and Diana was fucking back in the day. I mean having an affair, excuse me. That they were having an affair and it lasted longer than it should. For me, the reason why I wanted to read this story is because the wording of what he said was so specifically screwed for me. I was like, you really trying to hit some slick pimp shit, and I really don't like it, Smokey. Like, I like you a lot, but I really don't. That was the wording of it. Hold on. It looks like, and this is courtesy of the Jasmine brand, by the way. Shout out to the Jasmine brand. It looks like Smokey Robinson and Diana Ross once dated. During a recent interview with Vlad TV, legendary singer-songwriter Smokey Robinson revealed he once had an affair with Diana Ross. Before the big reveal, Robinson explained that the two were childhood friends who grew up in the same neighborhood. However, the famous producer had no idea Ross could sing until they were older. I didn't even know she could sing. When I found out that she could sing was when she moved away from the block. She moved up to a place called Brewster Projects, and after we started Motown, she called me one day and said, "Smoke, I got this group, and I want you to hear us so you can sign us up at Motown." So I said, "Okay." I didn't know she was a singer till then. Yes, Smokey is still is in these streets. Smokey is pulling a Quincy Jones right now and just dropping people's tea out of nowhere for no reason. Like, when asked if the two ever dated, Smokey Robinson revealed yes. It was. This is the part that I want you to really pay attention to. When asked if the two ever dated, Smokey revealed yes. It lasted probably longer than it should because I was married at the time. This happened later after I got married, after I got them signed up at Motown. Full story at thejasminebrand.com. Listen, Smokey, 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 Smokey. Why are you doing this? This is so inappropriate. This is so unnecessary, and this is so just uncouth. Why are you talking about this? Like, if you ain't had no respect for your wife then, could you at least have some for her now and not bring up the fact to the publics? Why y'all like you was out here laying it low and spreading it wide all through the Motown? Like, what is going on here? Why are we talking about this? I do not understand. Like, Smokey, Smokey, Smokey. No, sir. That's not okay. That's genuinely not okay. Like, why would you? Why? Why are we talking about this? It's just like when Quincy Jones and came out those couple years ago and was talking about who who was sleeping with who and who was doing what with who and who was landing low and spreading the wide to who. It was a lot going on. And why are we talking about Smokey? That's so inappropriate. I don't know if your wife is with you now. I don't know if that same wife is with you now. Maybe it's in the full story that's at jasminebrand.com. But yeah, that's not cute. That's really not cute. And I really don't appreciate that for you. That's why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, that's so ignorant. Like, that's so disrespectful to a women's. What month is it for Jesse Wu this month? Like, is it still January? Is it still Black Women's Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King month? Like, what is going on here? Why? Who let you do this? It's it right. It's giving Dream Girls. Yes, it is giving very Dream Girls. I just that's that's just mess. That's mess. That's mess. I do have time to actually do my Janet segment since I got about 8 minutes. I think I can throw that in there real quick. Listen, Janet Jackson getting sued by her business managers for allegedly owing over $200,000 in unpaid wages, right? And Janet Jackson is being sued for the money she allegedly owes her business managers, an unpaid balance of $250,000. According to legal documents obtained by The Blast, and this story is courtesy of the. Okay, cool. According to documents obtained by The Blast, the Grammy winning singer is having legal action taken against her for what her managers are calling unpaid services. The lawsuit has been filed against Janet Jackson and several of her companies dating back to 2017. The suit claims Jackson entered into a business management service agreement in August 2017 with David Weiss and Associates. The company describes itself as the largest business management firm in the country. What country? They also boast that they are no strangers to working with entertainers and such. We work alongside with top artists in music, film, and television, as well as athletes, executives, entrepreneurs, and other high achievers offering sophisticated range of concierge-style services to meet their lifestyle management needs. Whew. The company is accusing Jackson of bailing on paying the full amount owed for their involvement in her career. Obviously, Jackson is a big star who could probably pay the debt sooner rather than later. The total allegedly owed is $238,593.88. In 2018, Jackson was a part of another lawsuit where she was accused of owing similar outstanding debts. Her former manager, Danny O'Donovan, claimed that both Janet and her brother Randy Jackson hired him in 2016 as the manager for her State of the World tour. Shout out to Randy. According to the reports, Janet and Randy agreed to pay him $25,000 up front, and he ended up working for 17 months. For the first 5 months, everything ran smoothly. O'Donovan was paid promptly and religiously, but then the money stopped coming. A year later, the manager claimed that he hadn't received any money, so he sued the pair for $300,000. Janet will have plenty of opportunities to pay off this alleged debt, seeing as she will be going on tour again. I'm going. Janet added 4 more shows to her Together Again tour. She shared the news for the holidays, surprising her fans. Thank you guys for showing this tour so much love. Because of you, we had to add some more dates. Hashtag Together Again tour, janetjackson.com. Ooh, I need to blow my nose, but I will not do that on camera. She wrote as her caption alongside a photo of her tour poster and the added dates. While Janet deals with creditors her fans are busting, getting blah, blah, blah. While Janet deals with creditors, her fans are a bust getting pumped for the 4 added show dates. Okay, so God bless Janet. Listen, girl, I don't know what you got going on and why you seem to not be able to pay people on time after a certain amount of time. But listen, I haven't been to a Janet Jackson concert in a very long time. And I cannot miss this State of the World tour. Okay. So I will be damned if you is out there on somebody tour date and they come and lock you up. I would not have that happen, Jenny. You need to pay these people. I don't know who you need to call. I don't know if you need to call baby daddy with Sam Amana. I don't know if you need to call Jermaine Dupri. He got it. I know Jermaine Dupri got it. Call Jermaine. Jermaine. We need a favor because this what he done already said it's only a phone call away. So Jermaine Dupri, if because I don't even think she cool with Wissam Amana. I think she's still in court with Wissam Amana, no shade, allegedly. But what's going on, Janet? Why you want people all this money? For what? For what? When every time you announce a tour, it sells out. Like, what you mean? You just had to add 4 shows. Now, mind you, did you have to add the shows because of your tour selling out or because you got to pay this bill real quick? Like, what's the tea? I really need to know that. And it's okay to say that. But, like, girl, who is running? Like, do you need a new manager? Like, is Randy fucking up your books? Like, what's going on? You're Janet the Jackson. You're like Janet the Demita Joe Jackson. Like, what's tea? Like, what's that? Like, girl, you just like, okay, Janet. I don't know what's going on with you, but I ain't got time for that because I did listen. I'm still going to the Together Again tour. I've already like blocked it out. I've already decided I'm not doing any interviews in those days. Um, so I'm trying to stockpile all my content now. If y'all know anybody that y'all want to come on Real Reality Realness for an interview, let me know now because I'm trying to get everybody in or around Janet Jackson. That's all I'm saying. I'm literally planning my own podcast around Janet Jackson's tour. So, Janet, do not mess this up for me. Do not mess this up for me, friend. Come on. Come on, mother. The mother. Anyway, let's go on to Hey Ashley. Because I'm ready to get into, as Carisha would say, I'm ready to get into the smoke, right? So, y'all know Hey Ashley is my segment where I give unsolicited advice in the style of Dear Abby, Ask Amy, and Dear Annie, right? I just think it's funny that there's all these advice columns that are doing the exact same thing, and they're all women whose names start with A, and it instantly made me think of the show Recess and that group, the Ashleys. So I just figured I would jump in and give my advice to people that asked other people for it. So this is the part where, I jump in and I say, hey, Ashley, like this is my tea on that one. So we're going to start with the GOAT. We're going to start with Dear Abby as always. She's the first one to ever do it, to my knowledge. If she's not, I don't really, that ain't my business. But Dear Abby is the first one that I've ever heard of. Literally, this whole thing started because I didn't even realize she was still out doing things. Like, she's B. Like, look at Abby. Abby is out here. Like, Abby look good. Shout out to Abby. Like, I did not realize she was like still out here giving people advice and like telling people what to do with their lives. Now, mind you, most of the time, she's the only one that I agree with out of these 3. So here we go. The title is Dear Abby, am I wrong for not wanting my kid to have to spend the holidays with a family child abuser? Yikes. Dear Abby, years ago, my child was sexually abused by a relative. After I found out, I reported it, which made the abuser's family very upset. Charges were filed and there were court dates, probation, and counseling. To date, everything the judge required of the abuser has been legally fulfilled. While I'm glad everything was completed, I'm still not comfortable having him around my child or any of their younger siblings. Well, duh. Excuse me. Such a big yikes. The extended family wants to have large gatherings like were held in the past, and they are happy, and they are so happy we can all be together again. Is it bad that I still don't want my child and the other children around the abuser? Is it bad I don't want my child to have to spend every major holiday and celebration with their abuser in the same space? It bothers me that everybody is celebrating the return of this abuser. There was a different word there, but because I'm also streaming on YouTube, I'm trying to, keep everything cute. Am I wrong to feel this way? And they are disregarding my child's feelings as if nothing happened. What is the best way to handle this? Signed, show shocked mother in Colorado. Okay. Right. Exactly. I'm glad. Right. Glad you get it. Um, Dear Shell Shocked, you are not wrong. You are a loving, caring, vigilant, protecting mother. The best way to handle this is to forego family gatherings at which the abuser will be present. A victim of S abuse should not be required to have to ever be in that person's presence ever again. Once once again, I agree. I don't think that, and by the way, trigger warning, sorry. Um, I think that this is like common sense. This really is common sense. I don't understand why. Listen, I understand. I understand that there are really jacked up family dynamics and there are really messed up people who, because you are family, they're willing to look the other way and turn the blind eye and sweep certain things under certain rugs. But that should not ever keep you from protecting your child. At the end of the day, your child comes first, and you should follow your instinct on that. I think you should keep your child away from that person at all costs. Um, and if that means not going to the family function, then go be a bad bitch in somebody else's function. Period. Go get crunk off on the floor in somebody else's dancery. Cause this ain't the party for you, sis. This ain't your fish fry. Like, go get your catfish somewhere else, cause this ain't for you. Sorry. I don't know. I just don't think that that's okay. There's no reason, there's no rhyme, there's no excuse, there's no understanding for it being proven that see, that goes back to the conversation that I was having yesterday on Hey Ashley about people being actually guilty of abuse or just accused and and convicted. This goes back to that where it's proven. This is blatant knowledge. We all know that this is happening. And y'all are just gonna move on because he served his time. Like, there's like I get not exiling him from the family. He's still a part of the family, blah blah blah. But like, y'all all feel comfortable having him around kids. Like, that's a big yikes for me. That's a big yikes. That's a big red flag. That's a huge red octagon. Like, that's a big stop. I don't feel that. I don't feel that. I don't like that, and I don't think that it's okay. I think that you should have a stern conversation with your family without your child being in the presence, and let them know how messed up that is. But I don't think that you should involve your child in that conversation. I think that you should take care of your child, make sure that they're good, make sure that their mental health is considered, and that they're in the presence of the right people. And as far as people who can facilitate their healing, and you need to handle that at a separate time, because that will never be okay in any light or capacity. And I think your family is dead ass wrong for that. So yes, Tosh, your child's mental health is priority. It's the priority. There is like there is no list. I don't see like I don't see where I just don't see where that's optional. Do you get what I mean? You brought the child into the world. You brought your child into your home. You brought the child into your care. You know what I'm saying? So There is no debate on the priority when it comes to your child's life. It's always going to be number one, period. And if your child can't, and if your family can't hold your child in that high regard, then those aren't people that you need to have your child around, whether they did something to your child or not. At the end of the day, if they support people being around your child that did that to your child, they don't ever need to be around your children either. Sorry. Like, I hate to be the person that's just like cut your whole family off, but as the person that cut their own family off for less. All right, let's move on to Ask Amy. Let's go to Ask Amy because I could spend the whole second half of the show just on that. You know what I mean? Ask Amy, 23-year-old personal trainer getting way too personal with female clients. All right. Yikes. This is why I work out at home. Dear Amy, I'm a 23-year-old personal trainer. I'm good looking and muscular and get hit on by older females. This letter is already starting out sus. I was seeing a 38-year-old. She is in a long-term relationship, but her man wasn't satisfying her, and we were hooking up 3 or 4 times a week. We went on a 3-day bicycle trip last summer, and I got her pregnant with twins. She forgot her birth control. This entire story is messy. This entire story is completely messy. This entire story is completely messy. Her man knows the whole story and is willing to raise the babies and make me their godparent. I am glad he is willing to do that. Whoa. I am currently seeing a 34-year-old, beautiful, sexy, divorced girl, and we just found out I got her pregnant. I don't know if I should offer to marry her, but I am thinking about it. Your advice. Signed, Tempting Trainer. This whole story is bonkers. Hold on. Let me catch these comments real quick. Um, Super ellipsis that is common nowadays. They cater to the abuser but shun the person who is expressing the abuse they endured like they are bugged. Yeah, it's absolutely it's absolutely radical. I don't understand how that's still happening today. I've been through it. I know exactly what this person is going through. I don't know. It's like I yeah, it's completely yeah. I wouldn't even write that to Abby because, like you said, there's just no question behind my child. Right. Absolutely correct. There's absolutely no question behind that. So I don't understand why there's even a letter to write. At the end of the day, if you're writing a letter to anybody, it should be your child's therapist. It should be a mental health professional for yourself. It should be I don't know. Like it just, I just wouldn't necessarily write Abby with this mess. But when it comes to Tempting Trainer, yo ass is real outside. Like you outside in the worst way. Like you not even outside. Like you in the woods, my G. Like this is ratchet. This is ratchet. Like this is ratchet. You were having an affair with your with the person you were training, right? And you got her pregnant with twins. You signed off the twins to the husband. Now you seeing a 34-year-old and you done got her pregnant. I Let me just read what Amy said. Dear trainer, for someone whose professional expertise concerns the human body, you don't seem to respect the long-term ramifications of your fertility. Point number one. At the ripe old age of 23, and over the course of just a few months, you are now the prospective biological father of at least 3 children. It's vital that you grasp the basics of birth control, as well as the legal, financial, and emotional repercussions and responsibilities of fathering children. You are obviously catnip for cougar kittens. How well worded. And given how cavalier you are about offering up your muscular DNA, ew, that was gross. Your muscular DNA for procreating, that was disgusting. That was a disgusting group of words. You don't seem mature enough to become a father or a husband. If you or your current or future sexual partners do not want to raise children, always use a condom. In fact, you might want to double up. Get tested for STDs and urge your sexual partners to do the same. In terms of offering to marry your girlfriend, I'll put it this way. If she were writing to me, I would advise her not to become matrimonially entangled with you. It's great that she's gorgeous and sexy, but you don't mention loving or even liking her. Amy, listen, I'm going to take a moment to appreciate that read you gave him because that, you want to talk about reading. That was lovely. I agree. First of all, I does your new bitch know this? Well, I ain't even gonna call her bitch. Does your new lady friend? Because I can't even call her your girlfriend at this point. Does this new woman that you're having sexual relations with even know this story about the previous married woman that you were engaging in a professional relationship with, and then popped? Like, I'm trying to figure out. This is confused. Like this is very confusion. Like I don't understand. Like, because if she knows that story, how is she even like? Where is she in the pregnancy? Like, is she considering like did you are you even considering marrying her because she's not matrimonially entangled with somebody else? Like, whose girlfriend is she? I'm so like, wait a minute. You have not mentioned any attribute about any woman that has been in this letter outside of their physical attributes. So I'm trying to figure out why you even are thinking about offering to marry this woman when you aren't even trying to like, you don't even, are you even trying to raise children with this woman? Because you were so willing and easy to just sign off those babies and give full parental rights to those children off to that woman and her husband with no connection, no visitation, no connection to the children at all. Yet now this woman gets pregnant and you want to get married? I just want to get married. What? What are we doing? What? What? I'm sorry. What? Like, somebody did David Ruffin up, because this is a ball of confusion that I'm not willing to decipher. Like, how does that even make sense? And then on top of that, this was just a few months. Like, people say that if you know, you know, but like, I don't think that comes to raising children. I don't think that comes to being prepared to raise children. This is a rep. This is a recipe for all out disaster for these children, because that's all that I care about. You out here slinging penis don't really got nothing to do with me, because I'm sure that while she laid up barefoot and pregnant, you gonna be out here slanging dick round the damn gym again. So I just, because I'm sure you met this woman in the gym. That's why, because you only talk about physical looks. You only talk about how gorgeous and sexy you are, and you only talk about you being a personal trainer. Like, he literally said, "Fuck them kids." Like, double homicide. Like, what are we doing? I'm sorry. Like, I'm legit angry because as a parent, I'm ready to whoop his ass myself. This is genuinely offensive to me as a person. So like, I really like I really hope that he get hit by the bus that Katie Herring is driving. That's all I'm saying. Um oh, and 34-year-old new girl that's pregnant, run. Cause Molly, you in danger, girl. You in you in danger, because he don't give a fuck about you, just like he didn't give a fuck about his offspring that he had before. How much of a fuck do you think that he's gonna give about these children? Oh my word. This is so sad. This is so sad. And I really like, but it really, for me, I'm trying to feel bad for you, but I really do want to know if you knew about these twins that he just wrote off to the system before you decided to lay it low and spread it wide with him unprotected. I'm really curious about that because he didn't mention if she knew everything. He did mention that the husband knew everything. So, in the particulars of that, that leaves me with questions. That's all I'm saying. I'm going back and I'm gonna look too. Nope. He says, I'm currently seeing a 34-year-old, beautiful, sexy, divorced girl. And we just found out I got her pregnant. Not even we're pregnant, not even I'm going to have a baby with this woman. I done fucked around and knocked her up too. But I'm thinking about marrying her. Should I offer to marry her? Ugh! You are literally the scum of Satan's dingleberries. Like I do not. Oh, you noticed? Yes, that is Whoopi. Yeah, yeah, that's Whoopi right here. I've got Grace Jones up here, and then I've got Prince over here. But yeah, like I just this what? Oh yeah, Molly, you in danger, girl. I forgot about that. But it just doesn't make any sense to me of how you are even like. I just feel like he's physically ugly. I feel like he is physically ugly. Like this person just looks like, it gives me that dude from Love is Blind that every time he walked into the pies, he would ask the girl, "Hey, what are you wearing? Hey, what are you wearing over there? What are you wearing over there?" Like, ugh. You're literally on a show called Love is Blind asking somebody what they're wearing. Like you give me that type of skis energy. Like you give me skis or creep energy. Like you give me cooties vibes. Like you give me like worms vibes. Like you give me like your nails are dirty. Like you give me you don't even keep like you give me how would you know you don't even keep your fucking nails clean? Like that's what you give me. Like you give me like you want to smell my punani vibes. Like oh my god. I'm sorry. Tempting trainer. Like you are just disgusting oh my god. I guarantee you that his dick is 5 inches long. I guarantee you. I guarantee only somebody with average penis acts like this. The average penis in America is 5 inches. Only somebody with average dick does this. Only somebody with average dick does this because they don't realize that they have big dick. Because the person who is getting fucked by their big dick is used to having small dick or bad dick. So once they get a piece of dick that is just different or just better than what they had, now all of a sudden they acting like they swinging from shower rods. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, let's move on to Dear Annie. Because I got 10 minutes left and I got one more for y'all. Listen, shout out to Molly. Whatever the 34-year-old name is, Molly in Danger, shout out to her. Because really, you and them, babe, not even, girl, really not even shout out to you yet. Because I don't even know if your ass knew about them twins that he just signed over to the husband like a blank check. Like he really signed them kids over like he was endorsing his paycheck over at the bank because he can't get a bank account. Like what the entire fuck is going on? Hey Juju, what's going on, babe? I just don't understand. I am offended. As a parent, I am offended. And I really hope somebody comes and legally like forces you to be castrated. Or at least get a vasectomy. Because your seed does not need to be spread nowhere, anywhere. You do not need to be buttering anyone's muffin, sir. Moving on. Dear Annie, My husband and I have grown apart. Do I even want to rekindle our romance? Dear Annie, this is going to be good. My husband and I have been married for almost 29 years. We have three grown children, two granddaughters, and a third grandchild on the way. My dilemma is that although we have been married so long, we have had more downs than ups. Excuse me, especially this past year. Thank you, Juju. I do what I can, just making sure that the people in the back hear me. You know what I mean? Projecting. We have nothing in common. He likes to sit at home. I like to go out and be around people. I have tried to stay home and change, and I have suggested different things for us to do, such as go out to dinner, go out to movies, go out with friends. But he will do dinner only, and then we are home right afterwards. During the first 18 years of our marriage, he worked either a second or third shift. He did what he wanted, such as playing golf, going out with his friends, or going away for weekends, and I stayed home and raised the children. I went to the events at the school and participated in after school activities as the leader or the coach. As time has gone by, my husband and I have grown apart. It don't seem like y'all was ever together in the first fucking place. I just don't know how to rekindle our romance, or even if I want to get it back. It don't seem like y'all ever had it. Okay. Until last fall, he went out with his friends. Now he's claiming that he gets anxiety around groups of people. Yet he can go to concerts and bike rallies. I love him, but I'm not sure if I'm in love with him anymore. I don't know. I love the family time with the kids and the grandkids. Is that enough to suck it up and just live the rest of life at home, or do I move on? There isn't anything else, nor do I want anyone else. Last time, the last time, the last time we separated, I was looking forward to living with my dogs, decorating the house the way I wanted, and not having to answer to anyone. Very Grace and Frankie too. We've been together since I was 18 and I'm 51. Girl, is there a point when a person just sees the light and says, I'm done, signed, unsure, in love? Girl, it just, okay. I literally have set 7 minutes. I'm gonna just go ahead and get through this. Both of you have to choose whether you will work on your marriage and make each other and your relationship a priority. Your destiny is determined by those choices. If your husband says that he gets social anxiety, don't just dismiss that as not real because he can go to a concert or a bike rally. Those two events are much less intimate than social dinners with friends. Not if you're going to Astroworld. Maybe he needs help with that. You ask, is there a point when a person just sees the light and says, I'm done? I'm not sure it works like that. It's more than a series of dark, it's more that a series of dark moments might be lived over and over until you finally say, I'm going to turn on the light. When you truly turn on the light, you don't find all the faults in the person. Rather, you realize that you want more out of your marriage and yourself. The real light gets turned on when you do the work. You look at your faults and his faults together and come up with compromises. Compromise! Shout out to Eartha Kitt. Interesting. Interest, Interestingly, you signed your letter unsure in love, not unsure about love. I think you really want to be in love again. My advice is that you give this marriage a chance. Excuse me. After 29 years of being together with children and grandchildren, with children and my children's children, you have something to fight for. For a professional marriage find a professional marriage counselor and make an appointment for both of you. Continue to express your concerns to your husband in a loving manner. All the best to the both of you. Listen, it don't necessarily seem like he's giving you any true indications of anything that you need to run from. But I do think that y'all ain't never been in love in the first damn place. And I think that y'all were people who liked each other, dug in, and then all of a sudden you got to know him after you were already too deep to just walk away. And now all of a sudden you're realizing that you don't really like this person, you don't really get along with this person, you don't really have anything in common with this person. Hey, Aaron. And now you're in this marriage, and now you're in 5 6 years, now you got a baby, 10 10 11 12 years, now you got two babies, 15 20 years, now you got three babies, 30 25 years, your first grandchild. Like it all just, like, you've just kind of been rolling with it and hoping it gets better, I guess. But the problem for me is that if there is no reciprocation when it comes to the work on the relationship, is there any relationship? Like, if there's no effort to work with you on the marriage, then clearly he's not trying to save the marriage with you. That is the hair that I've been trying to get all episode. Oh my God. If y'all have been watching this entire episode, I've been trying to get that one hair. That's why my hand has been in my hair all episode. It's because I've been trying to get that one in my blind spot. But if you're trying to save the marriage, then you need to establish if he's trying to save the marriage. And if he's not trying to put in the work that you feel is adequate enough to get you through it, then maybe you need to consider doing something else. If you can sustain being in a marriage where you are the only person that is contributing emotionally to the fulfillment of your love tank, then you need to decide at that point if that's something you're willing to deal with. If that's something you're willing to deal with, then go off. But if that's something you're not willing to deal with, then you need to step off. It's genuinely that simple. Um, I wish you the best, but it's genuinely that simple. You really, at this point, your husband is making it very clear where his stance is. He doesn't have any emotional or intention. He doesn't have any emotional investment to work on your marriage, and he doesn't have any intention on developing, finding, paying for, ordering it on Amazon. It doesn't seem like he's looking to put forth the work that you feel like you need from him to establish a better connection with you in this marriage. So you may want to start making that decision for yourself, because it seems like now he's putting the red pill and the blue pill in your hand. Now, in this situation, I'm not exactly sure which is the red pill and which is the blue pill. I'm not sure if staying is the red pill or if going is the red pill. But it seems like you've been in this rabbit hole long enough, and you may need to go ahead and start thinking about an exit plan, or finding a new rabbit hole, or getting with a gopher or something and burrowing your behind somewhere else. Because I'm genuinely worried. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like you've kind of given your entire life to this man, and he hasn't reciprocated anything that you've needed as of late. And that is becoming a consistent problem for you, to the point that you done got your behind on the internet and told me about it. I know I'm not the person you wrote about it, but I am the person that's giving you an answer because I care enough to read your story. Thank you. Anyway, that has been our show, guys. I appreciate you all for being here. Yes, Aaron, thank you. I want everybody to find their happiness as well. Like, go find your happiness, whatever that is. If you can find your happiness staying in that marriage where you're not getting the reciprocation that you need emotionally, fine. If you think that your happiness is somewhere else, fine. Go on. Thank you, baby. That has been our show, though. I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and dropped comments, hung out with me. Tosh Boogie Fox for jumping on and, getting and kikiing with me. Thank you for all the people that stopped by. Listen, I kind of love doing this. Like, I have found a little format that I like doing this avenue in, and I'm so glad that I have this side of it to do it in. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you follow here. Subscribe to Real Reality Realness, the podcast. Go check out my episode with Diamond Styles that's out today. Cedric Smith is on tomorrow. Make sure that you follow me here at Real Reality Realness and at Sean Ellis Rogers. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll holler at y'all later. Make sure that y'all be real, Sorry, it cut me off on Instagram. I'll say it here. Make sure that you guys be real, stay in reality, and always, always bring the realness. I am Sean Ellis Rogers. This has been Chaos and Charcuterie. And until tomorrow, love you. Bye. Peace. Goodbye. Aye, aye.